Imagine being able to observe what your global neighbor is doing with its military. Thanks to a treaty originally conceived of in the 1950s, that is the reality today. Good day, class. My name is Dave Kuschel, and my presentation is on the Open Skies Treaty of 1992. In this presentation, I will cover the history of the Open Skies Treaty and give a brief explanation. I will discuss the impacts of this treaty and its benefits. I will talk about the U.S. and Russian withdrawal of the Open Skies Agreement. Finally, I will discuss the future of the Open Skies Treaty. I have a summary slide, show you my references, and if you have any questions, you can email me at the last slide. Open skies is an agreement between member countries that allow reconnaissance flights over another country's entire territory for the purpose of collecting data on military forces and its activities. These observation aircraft must be equipped with sensors that can identify military equipment, and that data must be shared with the host country. The purpose of the Open Skies Treaty is to build confidence and familiarity among each member of the treaty. The idea was first proposed by President Dwight Eisenhower in July 1955. The treaty was between the United States and the Soviet Union. However, the idea was shot down by the Soviets because of the fear of extensive spying. 35 years later, President George H.W. Bush revived the idea, and a year later, talks between NATO and the Warsaw Pact started in February of 1990. The Open Skies Treaty officially began on January 1st, 2002. The process begins with one member requesting overflight at least 72 hours in advance of the date. The host country has 24 hours to acknowledge their request and inform the requester if they can use their own plane or a plane provided by the host country. At least 24 hours prior to the observation, a detailed flight plan must be provided. Any changes by the host nation must be provided at least 8 hours prior, and the whole process must be completed within 96 hours, unless otherwise agreed upon. Finally, any data collected must be shared between both members. The treaty originally began with 27 members, with 26 ratifying the accord. Additionally, 7 more members have joined the Open Skies Treaty. However, as I stated before, the United States and Russia have recently withdrawn from the agreement within the last year. More about that later. The military impacts of the Open Skies Agreement is to help build confidence and familiarity among each member. Additionally, there is an impact of being open and honest to help avoid any misunderstandings. The commercial impacts allow airlines access to more countries without the unnecessary paperwork required. This allows businesses and tourists in every member country to process the paperwork. This is a boon to everyone involved. And economically speaking, this more open agreement between members is a huge injection of money into the economy and into the nations. Since 1992, the United States has established open skies with over 125 foreign partners to help relax the process of international flights. Like I talked about earlier, the U.S. and Russian withdrawal happened around October of In October of 2019, President Trump signed the memorandum with the intention of the U.S. to withdraw from the Open Skies Treaty. President Trump listed 3 primary concerns. The first one, Russia violated the treaty because of restrictions on the distance aircraft could fly over certain locations in the Russian territory. 2, over the last 30 years, satellite technology has vastly improved, and the sensors on them are all better than what the observation aircraft are allowed to carry. And third, President Trump expressed his concern over Russia gathering information on more than just military facilities, such as American infrastructure. Conversely, Russia claims that the U.S. is also restricting access to many of their locations, such as Hawaii and other spots. However, many think that Russia has just withdrawn from the Open Skies Treaty because the United States did so first. Additionally, Russia insists that many of the members do not share the data as stated in the treaty. The future of the open skies. The United States is concerned that the Open Skies Treaty, while having good intentions 30 years ago, has been surpassed by technology. Advancements in satellite imagery may make this true. However, satellites cannot see through clouds that aircraft can fly under. The Biden administration has not decided to re-enter the treaty yet, but recent reports state that doing so would be seen as a sign of weakness and send the wrong message to Russia. This is especially true if Russia continues to violate the Open Skies Agreement. It is important to note that many of the sensors on satellites are not allowed on the observation aircraft. Thus, America and Russia have been relying more on them than they have been the aircraft. However, other members do not have the technology to launch satellites in space like Russia and America. As a result from the withdrawal of the Open Skies Treaty, the United States Air Force has started retiring the aging fleet of observation aircraft. This is also another signal that America is reluctant to re-enter the treaty. So in summary, I went over the history of the Open Skies Treaty. I discussed the impacts of the agreement. I talked about the U.S. and Russian withdrawal from the Open Skies Agreement. And finally, I talked about the Treaty of the Open Skies Accord, or I talked about the future of the Open Skies Accord. That's my summary. Here are my references. And if you have any questions, please email me above. Have a great day. Go Eagles!